Hello everyone, so I got a really great question asking if the station point, as you can see, which is going to be located, let me go ahead and grab this station point, which is going to be right here on the bottom. If this station point right here always has to be in the middle of the picture when we're doing perspective drawing. And this is a really great question because, as you know, I've done videos which are on rotating the station point and how there can be multiple station points. Additionally, when we look at life, for example, if you go ahead and look around your room, wherever you're in, or outside, you'll see that different buildings go to different vanishing points. And that's all because they have different station points, right? You see that a table goes somewhere, a person's going somewhere else. You have a lamppost, which is going into a different direction, a tree maybe, multiple different tables, stores are all going to different vanishing points, right? Because everything revolves around this same constant, which is this horizon line or directional line. So as you know, when we do a drawing, let's go ahead and pull this up here. When we do a drawing from our station point, and we're doing perspective drawing, one of the most important things we have to take into account is that we have this cone of vision. We know that there's distortion that ends up taking place if we go outside of the cone of vision. So we know that we usually expand pictures, we'll blow them up when we're doing digital drawing or even traditional drawing. You'll use larger pieces of paper to create larger station points with the corresponding vanishing points so you can fit more of a picture we can actually draw into it. And so we know that if we were to grab, let's see, if we grab a circle or sort of circular object here, we would fit about this area, right, that we talked about, where this would all be non-distorted, anything you drew in here, and so we would blow that up and make it even larger. Now, you asked about something which was, does the station point have to be in the middle? Well, if we go ahead and follow the basic rules of, just like the world, right? If we go ahead and say, well, you know what? Different things have different vanishing points. They have different station points, so we're going to create a station point, which is, right over here. I'm going to draw straight down. I'm going to keep it about the same, try to get the same exact height. Let's say this is the same height. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find 45 degrees. So let's go 45 degrees from, this bottom point. We're going to go 45 degrees. I'm going to draw straight out. I'm going to go ahead and find the opposite 45 degrees, negative 45. It's going to go off the page slightly, but that's okay. It's just the point that we're showing here. And you'd find the measuring points and whatnot. But let's say we just draw something arbitrary, right? We don't need the measuring points in this case. Let's say you and I say, okay, you know what? I want to draw like a box, right? I want to draw a box. So I go ahead, I draw straight down. We're going to make it arbitrary, so it's not going to be a cube or anything. We're going to draw straight out from here. I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to say, okay, we're going to go about there. This isn't perfect. This is just sketchy, so since I'm not paying super close attention, things may not exactly line up, but it's just for the point of showing you. We're going to go straight down, and we're going to say that this box, we're going to say, well, it's the vanishing point somewhere about right off to there. And I will show you in another video something very interesting, which is how I will show you how you don't have to have the vanishing point on screen or on your paper. You actually don't. There is a trick that you can use to avoid that. Let's say, we're drawing straight down. We're like, well, it's going to go at about right there. Okay? So it goes right about there. Let's say this is our little shape here. Okay, this is our little shape. So let's go ahead and we'll erase that line right there. Okay. And then this obviously is pointing to, this is pointing to back here, and we'll draw that. And of course, what we're doing is we're drawing to a vanishing point that is blue, right? This is a different station point than the black one. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind. And we need to draw to the according vanishing point. Okay, we're not drawing to the black one because that is a different station point with different vanishing points. Right? What we're doing here is, no, we're drawing to the blue one. And then when we go ahead and we draw our other boxes, you'll see we're going to draw to the black vanishing points. And we're using color coordination here so that we can differentiate these just a little bit more easier so you can see it on screen what I'm talking about here. Okay, so let's draw up. So, you know, it's not perfect, but it's going to be about that. Okay, so that's our object, right? So this is correct. This is an arbitrary box shape, which is pointing to this vanishing point, which is in blue. This is not something. This just happens to be a coincidence that the left measuring point is close to this. Don't pay attention to this. This is a completely different measuring point. That wasn't intentional at all. And vanishing point 1 is somewhere off in the distance over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I'm going to draw in, let's see, so just so I can make it clear because I was using red to show the focus point, I'm going to go ahead and draw red now. So we're looking at the black station point, the traditional color. We're looking at measuring point 1 and 2. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to create another little box here. I'm going to draw it about right here. Okay. I'm going to go to the top here, and I'm going to draw straight out to measuring point. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to draw straight out. Okay. Get about 90 degrees. There we go. Draw straight up through there. Grab a little eraser. Get rid of that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, well, we're almost home free. I'm going to really lightly just sketch in. Just go all the way out since it's quicker. Really lightly. So we go that way. In this corner, we'll go that way. And this one would go out there. And this one would go out there. Now, normally you would just have these lines being very light, but just for our purposes, I'm just trying to show you the difference. So let's say we create an object right here. We can draw straight down. We're going to go from here. There we go. Now we're going to connect all these to the opposing ones. So we're going to go out. This one's going to go out. It's going to touch about right there. And then the bottom is actually the correct point as opposed to the top. Okay, so it's about like that. Okay, so there's two boxes. I drew them both in the focal point, so you can see where there's no distortion, right, within our area of focus, this circle that we have here. Now here's the important point. Here's why it's better to rotate the station point, and while even though you can have multiple station points and vanishing points, it gets a little tricky. Notice how with this vanishing point, right? With this vanishing point, what is not distorted is in this red circle. With the blue station point, with this setup, if we go ahead and draw, let's see, 30 degrees, go to 60. We're going to go out to there. Go ahead and draw 60 the other way, negative 60. There we go. Draw straight down to there. Go ahead, grab a circle, pull it straight out, find about where they line up, which is about right there. And that would about be what it is. Now you've got this diagram. Okay, here's the problem. Here's what you can see. What is not distorted in one vanishing point is distorted in the other one. That's the original. Anything in this red circle is not distorted. We pull it out now, and the blue box is within this. So it technically does work. But if you want to have one that isn't on the center, right here, we want to have everything inside of this one. That means that technically for this station point, this box right here, if we were working off the blue station point, this whole thing is distorted. This red box is completely distorted. Even though it's correct in its own station point, it is distorted in the blue one. Okay? It is distorted in the blue one. So if you got rid of the right, if you got rid of the original, and you kept your horizon line basically, but let's say that, you know, you keep the horizon line, but the other stuff isn't there. This now, if you do, let's go ahead and make one, just for, you know, just for the sake of it. Let's go ahead, we'll grab black here, and we will do, where's 0? We go ahead, we find where everything was about right. We go like this. Okay, there. There you go. That's a station point that isn't directly in the center. That's completely fine. You can make a whole drawing out of this, even though the red is not correctly, it's distorted. So you can have the station points outside. But if you want to move station points, if you want to have multiple station points in a drawing, distortion's going to happen. Just like this. So you just got to be careful and just pay attention to what it is that you're doing. If you want to have a station point which isn't on the center, boom, there you go. You can totally do it. And this is how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. So that's a tutorial for you want to do station points off to left, right, side. This is incredibly useful. When you're doing thumbnails, when you're doing sketches, you're like, I want to have the character off to the left this side. We're going to do this massive landscape. The character's going to be off to the left side of the camera. It's going to zoom off into the distance. Or maybe the station point's on the right side. Like, it's really, really useful. You can even pull this down. Like, for example, like if we were to go like this, and let's say all of this were white. Now you have a low horizon line. The character's right here staring off in the distance, right? It's very, very useful. And that's how you can just move it around and do your drawing how you want it to be and just blow it up. And, you know, you can also crop it to only focus on a small area too. That really helps, keeping everything in perspective. But that's the only issue, is that if you decide to do multiple station points, if you try to move things in that sort of way, it doesn't work. It's just not gonna work for you because everything's distorted according to its station point. So I hope that helps. That makes a little bit more sense, and that now you know how to work this and how to move a station point to the left or to the right or up or down. You can move it anywhere you want as long as you follow the basic rule. Of course, we know the basic rule is this. The basic rules are that. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit of a darker green here. Grab a little bit of a darker green. This whole area, 30 degrees and 30 degrees. 60, just as we talked about, the difference between these two. Let's go ahead and pull that up a little bit more. Between here is 45-degree angle here. Here is 45 degrees, creates a total of a right angle, which is 90 degrees, which we have right here, 90-degree angle. And that's the station point, which we talked about, which is right here, station point, which is this line, vanishing point 1 and 2. In another video, I'll be showing you how to, if you don't have a vanishing point, how you still get correct perspective. I hope this helps. Have a great day.